How to deal with the white man, that's your problem. I know how to deal with him. That's why I'm in the position I'm in today.
Let me tell you a little something about Super Bowl 58. 5 plus 8 is 13, so we already know what's going on with that number. But check these clips out, I got something for y'all. Like, subscribe, and share.
What the?
On his way to a performance.
To act is to deceive. And to deceive, one must forget oneself.
Waiting for is finally here, ladies and gentlemen.
Number 13 on any floor. Check this room numbering. It is also true for table number 13 in a restaurant, 13th deck floor on cruise, 13th row in airlines. Now, where is this number 13? The answer is simple. The number 13 doesn't exist. It's all because of the abnormal fear of number 13, which have been associated with bad luck for many years. For superstitious people, living or working on 13th floor or room number can cause discomfort. Even some people suffer from anxiety if they come across this devil number. This fear or extreme superstitious of number 13 is called triskaidekaphobia. Triskaideka means 13 and phobos means fear of 13. According to Otis elevators, up to 85% of elevator panels omit 13th floor. It has its roots in many countries. You would find numerous stories about the number 13th on internet. Many movies are also available on this concept. But the most popular and originating theory is of Judas. Many historians accept that there were 13 people at Christ's Last Supper, and the 13th person to sit from Jesus was Judas, who betrayed. The Christ was crucified on Friday 13th, and the fear of Friday 13th was also given a name, paraskevi-dekatriphobia, from Greek language. Paraskevi means Friday, dekatri means 13, and phobia means fear of Friday. There was also a theory devised by Dr. Donald Dozy, who told his patients that when you learn to pronounce it, you will be cured. The other stories, like historian destruction of Knights Templar by King Philip IV of France on Friday 13th October 1307.
Hey, this is Mr. Philip Campbell with Homeschool Connection. History in a Minute. I am your bearded, nerdy history guru, and today is History in a Minute's 13th episode. And I wanted to ask the question, why is 13 considered such an unlucky number? Nobody knows for sure. There's all sorts of folklore about this. In ancient numerology, 12 is the perfect number, so if you add one more to 12, that jacks everything up. Hey, this is Mr. Philip Campbell with Homeschool Connections History in a Minute. I am your bearded, nerdy history guru, and today is History in a Minute's 13th episode. And I wanted to ask the question, why is 13 considered such an unlucky number? Nobody knows for sure. There's all sorts of folklore about this. In ancient numerology, 12 is the perfect number, so if you add one more to 12, that jacks everything up. The Jews murmured against God 13 times in the Old Testament. There was 13 people at the Last Supper when Jesus was betrayed. Women have 13 periods a year. There was 13 steps to the gallows when a man was being hanged. Witches' Coven had 13 members. The Templar Knights were condemned on Friday the 13th, 13 1307 to be burned at the stake by King Philip the Fair of France. So there's all sorts of folklore about 13 that makes it unlucky. But also, in other cultures, including Catholicism, 13 can be a lucky number. Mary, in particular, the Blessed Virgin, seems to like the number 13. Remember, the apparitions of Fatima occurred on October 13th. John Paul II was shot and saved. That he attributes his survival of the assassination attempt to Our Lady. That was also on October 13th. And the letter M in Mary in English is the 13th letter of the alphabet. So Mary seems to like the number 13. What's your opinion? Why is 13 so unlucky or lucky? Leave it in the comment box. Subscribe to our channel. Visit us online at
is a big number in numerology, and it's a big number for the Illuminati. There's 13 bloodline families. You go around, you see McDonald's. Why did they make that M so big? Because M is the 13th letter. That's a hidden way of paying homage to the Illuminati masters. There's a team called the Philadelphia 76ers. 7 and 6 is 13. San Francisco, 4 and 9 is 13. 13 is a big.
Some numbers you want associated with love, some numbers you want associated with fear. 13 is like Friday the 13th. It's very symbolic of fear. So again, you have one main Federal Reserve Bank in Washington, D.C., and 12 more all across the country. You understand what they're trying to do? They're trying to implement that 1 + 12 system. Jesus and his 12 disciples. You understand what I'm trying to show?
Yeah.
I'm showing you how they're doing this in religion. I'm showing you how they're doing this in banking. I'm showing you how they're doing this in everyday society. Think about this. Banking, Federal Reserve, one main, 12 that follow in the United States of America, 12 other banks. Jesus Christ, 1, 12 apostles. Astrology, one sign, one sun, 12 signs. It's everywhere around you. If you all you got to do is start paying attention.
You talk about energy and stuff. To like someone that doesn't believe in this at all, how would you explain energy?
I have come home and I have stood at the base of the steps just dreading the 40 stairs that I have to climb up.
To someone who doesn't believe in this,
like energy, so what made me really believe in energy and start seeing life differently rather than just like this matrix world, how we're perceived to see it, is like I took psychedelics and that like kind of mushrooms.
That's the one usually people take.
Yeah, and that like opened my mind to like this world isn't just what we see. Like every single mushroom trip I've had, I've taken something new out of it and recognized that there's different energy frequencies moving around.
How do you explain sex to a person who's never had it?
I get how do you like the feeling.
How do you explain that? You can't explain it to a virgin. You know, I like to tell people, sometimes you can't see things, but you can feel it. And the best way for me to explain it is this. You can't see the wind, but if you put your hand outside the window, you can feel it. So there's certain things on this planet that you can actually feel without seeing. And I would ask everyone out there who seems to be a comedian to open your eyes and start looking at your numerology and astrology, because I'm the one talking to billionaires, not you. I was the one who was invited to the White House, not you. I was the one who helped the Warriors win championship after championship, not you. So again, this stuff works if people actually pay attention and do the push-ups. I mean, people want to be funny out there. Do your own work. So, again, at the end of the day, I want people to understand that you have to do the work. I can guide you, but you have to do it yourself.
I have another question.
Yes, sir.
So a lot of people see 3 numbers in a row very, very frequently.
They're called angel numbers.
So I personally see 444 at least five different times a day. Some people see 333. I just saw 111 in the chat. What are the reasons that people see these 3 numbers?
So here's the thing.
That cannot be coincidence.
No, of course not. Here's the thing. Everyone sees those numbers. Most people just aren't aware of it. They think of it's a coincidence. You have a soul, and your soul has evolved to the point where you can see the matrix of signals. This is all a virtual reality. It's called the Matrix, but the Matrix talks, and its language is numbers. So it sends certain numbers out there, and if you know how to interpret them, you know what they mean. So for instance, when it comes down to, let's say 333, 3 is the number of communication. So when anyone sees those 3 numbers together, they have to basically start communicating more. Whatever means necessary, whether it be going to a party, you have to be more social. If someone sees 555, it might be a baby on the way. When it comes down to it, 5 is the number of sexual energy. So sometimes when people see that, when people see 666, 6 is the number of family. So again, most people think that's some kind of. Oh my God! Most people think that's a negative number.
Is that why they make it so negative? Because they're against the family unit.
Exactly. So it's not just that, but think about it this way: 666 is not the number of the devil. Okay, there might be a devil. I'm not saying he doesn't exist, but 666 is not the number. 666 is the number of time itself. 60 minutes in an hour, 6 and 0, 6. 60 seconds in a minute, 6 and 0 and 6, and 24 hours in a day. There is your 666. Very simple.
What's up with 31 days and 12 months?
31 days and 12 months. They should go back to 13 and 28. They should go back to 13 months and 28 days. The 28 days is when the moon goes around to match the woman's menstrual cycle. They should go back to that. The reason they changed it is to manipulate the energies.
So it used to be 28 days to a month every single time, single month?
13 months and 28 days. That's what it used to be. And they changed it to the Gregorian calendar to manipulate the energies.
So do you follow, because we're following, what's the calendar called?
Gregorian.
Mm-hmm. So we're following this now, and you base people's personalities off of birthdays on that.
Ask me why, though.
Why?
It's very simple. Because if 6-7 billion people in the world believe that today is September 16th, that's exactly what the environment, the Matrix, is going to do. So that's why people's energy is going to match that day, because everyone's manifesting that calendar itself. This stuff is deep. And again, this is a whole different way of thinking for most of you people. I understand that. But at the end of the day, do you want to evolve? Do you actually want to evolve? Because this is the future. This is what's going to be going and replacing religion. Not just Christianity, not just Islam, all of it. Because at the end of the day, you have to add both. You have to understand this if you want to evolve in life.
Why did January 1st of year 0 happen on that day?
Probably because the elite decided that was the best day to do it, and they did it on certain ley lines. There's certain points in the earth where there's chakras and the ley line points. And they probably did it because they knew if they did it that day, it would be the best effect. Remember how I told you off camera I did everything in 2023 to blow up? Mm-hmm. They probably used the same strategy for whatever reason they did it.
And Jesus wasn't... Damn.
9/11, again, police code for terror and stuff like that.
Why are numbers shaped the way they are? That has influence too, right?
The angles matter. Everything. I'll give you one when it comes down to numbers. 5 is the number of change. Okay? If you have a 5 open on both sides, it's open. It's right in the middle. So the shape of the number tells you a lot about the people's personalities, because people who are 5s are very open-minded. It's right there in the shape. A lot of people who are overweight have some 6 energy. Look at the shape.
What am I doing wrong? I'm putting my blood, sweat, and...
You understand how that works? So, a lot of people with big egos have a 9. Look at the shape, big head. So again, shapes matter. This is all there, guys. You got to put in the work.
So you talked about the Gregorian calendar and how, since everyone believes in it, that's what gives it the power. Are there any other examples like that in society? Everyone believes in it and that's what gives it the power?
I would say it's only big things because you have a lot of people believing in it. You understand? A lot of people believe in capitalism now. It works. Before, a lot of people believed in communism. and that didn't work so well, but at least they tried it. Usually it has to do more with big things like calendars and things of that nature. But the power of manifestation is real.
Yo, you know what I didn't even think about? I was just thinking, so like, you know how a very common price is $19.99?
Mm-hmm.
I was just gonna ask you, because the way they explain that is because it's just below 20, so it's like a psychological thing. And then as I was thinking that, I was like, holy shit.
They lie to you. It's $19.99, 1999.
Yeah, 28 the number of money.
And again, like for instance, 28 is the number of money. He brought this up, so let me give you an examples. The richest man in the world, Elon Musk, born on the 28th. He replaced Bill Gates, who is the richest man on earth, born on the 28th. Did you know that 6 of the top 23 people in the world, 23 richest people in the world, 6 of them are born on the 28th?
That's insane.
Again, think of the mathematical probability of that. Now, some people could say, yo, Gary, that's not enough. Okay, what's the most valuable sports franchise in the world today?
Cowboys?
The Dallas Cowboys, founded on the
11th.
28.
28.
What are you doing? Oh my God.
I'm all over the place.
You just fucked up that clip.
Fuck.
You just fucked
Whatever,
up that clip.
that'll still make it go viral. I'm trying to think of questions
What is the biggest asset manager in the world? It is Vanguard. Vanguard is founded 5/1/1975. Adds up to 28. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, born 2/24/1955, opened up Apple, founded 4/1/1976, 28, the richest cash-rich company in the world. We're talking Anna Nicole Smith. You remember that whore, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She married a billionaire, married on the 28th. You understand how this works? This is not me hallucinating. This is not me, oh, Gary's smoking some shit. No, it has nothing to do with it. This is based in fact. If you choose to accept the challenge, and actually try to evolve, cool. If you think this is bullshit, that's cool too. Because at the end of the day, I still got way more money than you. And my wife is a lot hotter than yours as well. Mwah.
What about the times that you fall asleep and wake up in the morning?
What about it?
What does that have anything to do with numerology?
I don't think numerology works in the dream world. I think that's a completely different realm.
What do you think about the dream world? What's your take?
I believe that...
Can you remember your dreams, or do you lucid dream?
Yeah, sometimes I remember my dreams. Hell, I've done everything from, astral projection to remote viewing. I don't recommend people do stuff like that all the time.
You've like purposely done astral projection?
Yes, of course.
Where you go above and you look at your body laying there?
I'm not sure it's like that in the movies, but you definitely do have out-of-body experiences. And it's not like you're over there staring, looking at your body. It's just everything around you is different. You see what's not... You see, like, for instance, a dog can only see black and white. Humans can see colors, but there's different colors out there that we can't even see. It's in the spectrum. So again, this is what numerology and astrology is. I'm actually trying to help you guys understand that if you look at the bigger spectrum, you might be able to see something more. The dream world, in my opinion, everyone has to sleep. And no matter if you're animal, human, and insect, you have to sleep. And at the end of the day, I think when you sleep, you're actually giving energy away. Because think about it, when you sleep, you leap. Energy starts with E, sleep, 2 E's, leap. So basically, when we go to the dream world, I think something is taking our energy.
Hey, if your partner is being secretive with their phone, you need to do this now. Most
different numbers have different frequencies.
to babysit Tom Brady, and he was a little troublemaker.
Well, then you die with your secrets. No one likes a snitch, but you're in.